spicing up our lives today, and I just made three of my favorite homemade spice blends. I'm gonna use my pie spice blend to make an apple pear crumble. And for this blend, all you need is 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of powdered ginger, a tablespoon of freshly grated nutmeg. You can also use the ground stuff because a tablespoon of freshly grated nutmeg will take a while, and a little bit of clove for that nice smokiness. So I need 3 apples and 2 to 3 pears for the base of this crumble. So I'm just thinly slicing those babies up because I want this crumble to cook as quickly as possible. So when you cut them thin, they're gonna cook quicker in the oven, and then it's faster crumble for you, which is like a priority for me with desserts. If I want a dessert, I want it now. So I need to do it now. All right, so I've got those nice and sliced up. And when you're looking for apples for a crumble, you wanna use something that's good for baking. I love a ginger gold. I actually really like a Macintosh, even though some people don't. Golden Delicious are okay. Granny Smith, that's also a good one. For pears, you just want something that smells really nice and bright and fresh and kind of perfumey. All right. So I'm adding those on into a bowl, and onto there I'm gonna start building that flavor for that delicious kind of fruity layer. The thing I love about crumbles is basically pie, but you don't have to make pastry. So it's a win-win. So onto those apples and pears, I'm gonna add on the zest of half of an orange. This is totally not necessary, but that little bit of orange zest will make all your friends and family be like, are you a genius? Are you the smartest person in the world? That little bit of orange zest just brings a bit of brightness into here. You could also do lemon, but the orange is kind of sweet. Just perfumes it a little bit. So into there, I'm gonna sweeten that up with about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That's gonna bring in a little bit of molassesy flavor. If you wanted to, you could also just use maple syrup. That would be a dream. Now, to give that spice flavor, I want half a teaspoon of that pie spice. So just grab that out, give it a sniff, because that's gonna smell. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Listen, if you like pumpkin spice, I'm not mad about it, but just a generic pie spice in your pantry, again, you'll look like the baker of the year. It's gonna be great. Now onto there, I'm also gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract just to kind of bring everything together. Beautiful. And in my opinion, with a crumble, you can't really go wrong. If you had some strawberries or even like a little bit of raspberry action, maybe some cranberries hanging out in the freezer, you could pop these in here and it would be absolutely beautiful. You really can't go wrong. Just use some sort of fruit that cooks down nicely. So just give that a toss. And I'm just gonna transfer that into a dish that's good for the oven. So whether that's a cast iron skillet, a little baking dish, a pie plate to make it really look like a pie, and trick all your friends into thinking you make pie on like a Tuesday, if that's when you're making this. All right, this is gonna be a big crumble. Okay. Now, I hate doing dishes personally, so I'm just gonna use this exact same bowl to make that crumble topping. So the first thing I need is a cup of flour. You can use any type of flour you want. I'm going all purpose, but for a little extra nuttiness, you could totally use like whole wheat, even spelt flour if you're fancy. That would be great. Now, for a little bit of chew, I'm gonna add in half a cup of rolled oats. If you only have like a quick cooking oat, that would be great, but rolled oats are nice and kind of chewy and meaty. They give you like a little bit of texture in there. Now, again, another half teaspoon of that pie seasoning to bring that seasoning up into that kind of topping mixture. And again, this is totally optional, but I'm adding in some nuts because I like pecans. So about a 1/4 cup of those nuts. 1/4 cup of that brown sugar, again, just to give like a nice sweetness in here. And I'm just gonna get in there with my hands. Just give that a mix up, just until everything comes together. And then to turn this into a crumble, you get half a cup of butter. I've got room temperature butter here that I've just cut into some pats. I'm just gonna add that on in. And this is basically, if you got kids or you got someone who thinks that they don't know how to bake, just get them into this, because this is where you just get to mush it all up. This is truly, you cannot go wrong with a crumble because you're not adding any liquid into here. You're just kind of mushing that butter mixture together until it starts to look, well, crumbly, really. So just kind of go, even if you got hot hands, you know how people say if you want to make pie, if you got hot hands, you're out of luck? Not with crumble. You can have the hottest little hands this side of the Mississippi and you're good to go. All right, so this is looking great. You basically just want big chunks. A little bit of flour is totally fine. But what I like to do is grab my crumble mixture, mush it into a ball, that half of it, and then break that over, because then you get those big hunks of kind of crumble mixture, that butteriness. Any of that flour mixture that falls down, that's just gonna thicken that fruit. So it's gonna be a total dream. You can make as much or little of a mess as you want, clearly. And I'm gonna pop that into my 400-degree oven just for about 30 to 35 minutes. Let that do its thing. I'm gonna put these oven mitts on and really dirty up the inside of them. So we'll do laundry later. Oh my gosh, and look at this beaut. It is golden brown and crisp. A total dream. Like, you can see that delicious syrupiness. This, to me, plop down on a table, serve it in a bowl, or if you want, a little bit of ice cream right on top. Let that melt in. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.